Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And today I am so excited to have another token teaser segment here on the channel today. I've got two incredible guests. And folks, every once in a while, something special happens, whether it's in, real estate investing or cryptocurrency for us, or just all sorts of things in the world. Just things align that end up creating massive opportunity. And in my opinion, these two gentlemen have created an opportunity within the cryptocurrency space that is just absolutely revolutionary. Folks, this project is the project that I am the most excited about during this bull market. And that's saying a lot. I look at a lot of projects. I've been involved in crypto for a decade and seen a lot of things. And folks, I'm excited to introduce these two gentlemen to you. They're family men. They have high integrity. I consider them friends. And I know that they're here to do the right thing. They're here to do more than just make money. And I'm going to let them get into their mission and into their story a little bit more right now. So without any further ado, let me bring on Mr. Mark Ross and David Trask, the co-founders of Sosana.io. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being here today. I appreciate you spending some of your valuable time with us and going over the Sosana project with my community. We're very, very grateful. Are you guys still muted?
Hello, forgot to unmute. Thanks for having us, brother. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's Mr. Mark Ross
in
the top right-hand corner. Down here in the bottom middle of the screen, we have David Trask, man. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for having. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
There's a delay and an echo in my ear. Oh, boy.
Okay.
Because
I'm
in my mobile. Uh-oh. Let me figure out how I'm going to do this here.
All right, we'll let you work
sound,
on
just
that.
So you know, Dave, you sound fine. I mean, we can't hear any echo or anything.
Yeah, you're the only one.
Yeah, but it's in my head.
I hear you.
Jeez.
All right.
Let me see what happens if I hit.
While he's working on his sound, Mark, if you want to give people just a little bit of your background, I love, one of the things that I love to do in the beginning of these interviews is, actually give you guys an opportunity to talk a little bit about how in the world you got involved in this crazy world of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. It started for me really in 2015 when someone just introduced Bitcoin to me. And I was like, actually, it was 2013. Okay. So 2013 and then 2015 was when I bought my first Bitcoin for $1,500. And I was already regretting it. Like, oh my gosh, I found out about it when it was like $300. And then I thought, man, it's probably not going to go up any more than that. You know how we're always thinking, we don't know what's going on. I didn't know what blockchain was at the time. I just knew that everybody was buying this thing. So I guess I had a friend of mine call me up one day. He's like, you've got to buy it. Just buy it. All right. And I'm like, okay, fine. I respected him enough. But I really got into it in 2017 during that bull run when all these other tokens started coming out. And I'm like, what is going on here? I went to CoinMarketCap back then and I turned literally like 17 grand into like $250,000 in like 3 months. And I was hooked ever since. I couldn't believe it, right? And I'm sure a lot of people out there listening to me can relate to that. Crypto pulls you in because of the possibilities, doesn't it? It's just like, where else can that happen? And people started calling it magic internet money and all this stuff. And since then, back in, I would say 2021, you had that, I lost almost everything. I made $250,000 and I lost like 230 grand of it, right? It's just kind of pretty much lost it. But this new bull run came remember the COVID period? And that's when I started my own little YouTube channel I call the Gem Finder. And I hooked up with Binance. They actually created their own little blockchain and their ecosystem. And I started running with that. I built up about 3,000, maybe 3,500 subscribers. No big deal. I kind of did it as a hobby, didn't stick with it. But I knew and started learning about crypto. And one thing led to the next. And I mean, it's a long story. I can't get into all the details, right? But Sosana came about. Me and David have been really good friends for about 20 years. And he called me up one day, and by the way, he and I have some background. I'm not going to name the other company, but we took another company, and we can't hear you yet, Dave. I don't know. It looks like you're kind of trying to
Can
talk.
you hear me now?
Yes.
How about now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take my headset off so it's not in my ear. How about now? Can you hear me
Yes.
if I talk?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going to keep it off so I don't hear it in my head.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and sorry to cut you off, Mark, but
Oh, you're good.
I assumed you were telling the story because you couldn't hear me. So I've known Mark. Mark was getting to the story how we've known each other for years, but probably since 2006, and we've been it was kindred spirits, and almost instantly we were just buddies. It just lasted for years. We've done different businesses together, and throughout the years, I've been in the consulting, especially in the merchant services space, and then Mark was gravitating towards crypto, but I was kind of a newbie compared to him. I didn't really get into it until probably 2017 to 2018, and once I started to see the light, I was like, there's got to be a way to make crypto a payment, a way that you could actually make payment at the point of sale, because that's a business I was in. And Mark and I kind of gravitated to a company. I won't promote them right now, but I'll just say that I ultimately became CEO of the company. It was a blockchain company. Mark was head of sales, and we blew that up together really, really well. And so we've been kind of crypto advisors and consultants in the industry. We've been around the space now, in the big scheme of things, 2017 to now 2018. That's for crypto, it's a lot of years, right? So from that, we just became investors as well, right? You can't help but be in the business and not invest in it. And we were making all kinds of great money. Everything was going well. And all of a sudden, it just, the air got sucked out of the room, right? There was just so many tokens popping up, and everybody had the shiny object syndrome. And so we were just kind of joking around shiny object syndrome. And I'm like, what is the problem here? All these meme tokens are so many. There are hundreds of thousands coming out in a matter of days. And it just hit me, Sosana. And I figured it, I was like, shiny object syndrome, and nothing accomplished. In fact, I said nothing achieved, and Mark kind of improved it to nothing accomplished. That was a little vote we did early on. But when it hit me, I got the bug, and I was on my computer all night typing and laughing at a parody site that we just make fun of ourselves, because we are guilty of being these crypto degens, where we jump from one thing to the other thinking, oh, this is great. And we were leaving great projects for crappy ones because it sounded cool. And we were just losing money left and right. And I realized that, not on purpose, but by design, Solana became the problem, because of pump fund, because of all the tokens that were able to pop up overnight, and them being the sixth largest token out there. It just bled into the entire crypto market because there was way too much supply, not nearly enough demand to handle it. So I'm thinking, how do we stop this? How do we create an ecosystem? Well, I reached out to Mark the next day. I read him what I'd written, and he was cracking up. So I knew it was a hit, because Mark's got one of the best sense of humors I know of. I mean, we crack up all the time together. And so I'm like, and my wife was laughing, and we're just cracking up. We're like, this is it. We got something here. And it just evolved. With two of us putting our heads together, I operated I don't mean to hog it, and I'll give it back to you, Mark, in a second, but I operated a social network for a number of years in the network marketing industry. We had millions of members globally in that, and there was things that I picked up and learned from it that I've applied here. So there's a lot of different things that we've been able to take as a kind of an amalgamation of all these different things that we've been in, and different things that Mark has experienced and been in, and we've been able to kind of put our heads together, get a really solid voting system mechanism that weeds out the crap, right? It just creates, it slows everybody down, right? Instead of just buying, jumping around, we create this cohesive ecosystem where we can connect with one another. We're not just a lonely person in the middle of nowhere that's chatting with somebody they've never seen before, never in person. Because who do you know that's really into crypto, besides yourself and others that we're working with? And we're creating this kind of unity where you can connect with one another, take your time, vote on nominate projects, vote on what you think is best, and earn real money with it. And everybody kind of apes in together. So I just want to give a high level overview of that. I know Mark can drill down on how things work within the Sosana ecosystem. And this is just beginning. When we have stuff coming, you wouldn't even believe if I told you. So without hogging the mic anymore, let me turn it over to Mark, and let him take it away. What's up, buddy?
Absolutely. Hey, brother. Appreciate
I'll put it back
man.
on now.
So here's the thing. David won't tell you, but he's the mad genius behind this thing, and he's in the background. Just the things he's developing and what he's coming out with are just going to be so fun. I'm so looking forward to it. But David has a really special ability to solve problems, even in areas where he may not be as aware of that, but then he quickly learns, adapts, and then creates solutions. It's amazing. I'm watching him work, and he's just behind the scenes doing such incredible stuff. Crucial stuff that's going to make this successful. But here's the thing. He came up with this amazing idea, Sosana. What are memes? Memes are things that, from a successful perspective, what a meme really typically is it's relevant. It might be political. It might be a subject matter that everybody can relate to, right? But it's also entertaining. It's usually humorous. But when you have something that we have, which obviously has that impact, we could have just taken that alone and we believe we could have been successful. But when you add this incredible utility to it, that's what changes the game. And what we're doing is really historic. I don't want to try to sound hypey, but it speaks for itself in the utility, what it does. We have like David was mentioning, we have this community that comes together, and the bigger we get as a community, there's strength in numbers, which will forge each nominated token through an election process where the cream rises to the top. Everybody has that motivation. Every voter that comes in, automatic staking mechanism, you must hold $50 in Sosana to vote. You have to have $500 in Sosana to nominate, right? And so that is this automatic staking element, which is great, but there's this reward element that's like no other. It's historic, okay? There's never been anything like it. And what I mean by that is there's a 3% buy and sell transaction tax that occurs. And that's extremely important, because when you look at the Solana ecosystem, as David was describing, there's the reason why there's thousands and thousands every day popping up through Pump Fund mostly is because everybody and their dog can make it, and they can just throw mud up against the wall and see if it sticks. Like, I'm just going to put some up there and I'm going to call it, pigflation or something, who knows, right? And they just throw it out there and people look at it and they're like, pigflation, okay. And they ape into it and then nothing happens, right? Or maybe they have influencers that pump them up because they're these KOLs, right? And they come in there and they tell their communities, hey, everybody buy pigflation, I think it's gonna run. And everybody buys it, and what happens? It dumps. Why? Because there's really no utility, there's no team, there's no development, there's really nothing there. There's no substance. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to create that safe haven through this utility. And why? Because it's rewarding, but it also has this powerful aspect of really helping the community pick quality projects. What if you could take this amazing concept where right now it's this game of almost a lottery mentality of people are just saying, man, I'm gonna put $100 in there and just see what happens, and then they lose it. Well, okay, maybe I'll try again, because they've heard stories of people that bought tokens and turned $100 into 10 grand or 100 grand or whatever. And they hear those stories and they want to be that story. But the odds are really against you, because the truth is 99.99% of these projects, without exaggeration, really don't go the distance. And so what our goal is to create this safe haven, and the utility works like this. This is why we think it's going to go viral, is because when people come in and vote, they connect their wallet. There's a 2-week period right now, not this Easter Sunday, but literally a week from this Easter, we're going to open up the vote. In the meantime, anybody who has $500 in Sosana can connect their wallet and nominate their favorite project. Now, their goal as someone who's nominating a project is to put something in there that's really quality, something that's real, something that is going to attract these voters, because the voters are motivated to do one thing: pick a really quality project. They want to pick the project they think is going to win, and the one that's going to win is most likely going to be the most quality project, right? So it creates, like I said, it forges these nominations through an election process, where then we can, every 2 weeks, someone has an opportunity to add a new quality project, maybe somewhere in the top 10 if they like some of the other projects, but they have an opportunity to add that and build their portfolio. Because in investing, really the turtle wins the race. It's not the person who expects to make a Ferrari fall out of the sky with $100, right? That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for real projects, and that's what the community does. It helps create that safe haven because of that utility and because of their strength in numbers, right? And that's how we're growing. Well, we had our first round of voting, okay, first 2 weeks. We opened it up last Sunday, okay, so at 7 p.m. Eastern, we opened up the vote. We unfortunately, there was just a little glitch in there where we revealed the token an hour earlier than we expected. But when it was revealed, there was a top 10 listing. It showed all the tokens that were nominated. Shift AI was at the top. It had received the most votes. And those people that were holding, those 11 voters in there that voted for Shift, that were holding just $50 in their Sosana wallet, received about $360 to $400 or so in Shift token airdrop to their wallet just for holding $50 in their wallet. Now, what I'm explaining to you has never before happened in history, and I want you to think about what that can become in the future. Okay, as we grow as a community, we're going to be getting more transactions. That 3% buy and sell transaction tax, it does three things. One, it adds 1% to our liquidity pool for future stability, price stability. It adds 1% to a marketing wallet we can use for marketing to, so that we can reach out to influencers, of course, like you, Brad. And then what it also does, most importantly in that utility, is it rewards people. Okay, so picture this, 1% of every transaction, whether it's a buy, sell, or transfer, goes into that what we call Degen voter bonus wallet. So people are looking at it going, wow, this is neat, because you can see it. If you go to our DApp, you can connect your wallet and you can actually see that reward pool growing and growing. You can see the number of nominations. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, we allow people to vote on this coming Sunday. So for a 24-hour period, okay, you get to see, and you don't see the nominations yet, but for a 24-hour period, you can see every token that's been nominated, and you can do your due diligence during that 24-hour period to pick your favorite project that's been nominated and the one that you think is going to win the vote, okay? Now picture this. When it gets revealed, which is 7 p.m. Monday night, the following 24 hours, that winner gets revealed. So everybody that voted, and only the people that are registered voters, can log into the DApp and see the results. Now picture this in the future. This is what we see. Again, not making predictions, no financial advice, but picture what we see in the future is that we believe we're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of voters, potentially tens of thousands. You can imagine after all of those transactions in a 2-week period, how much that Degen voter bonus wallet has swelled. And for the first time in history, we have created a mechanism where the reward goes in the chosen token. So when people choose it, they see the results, they see number one, and they know for an hour from 7 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern, they know which token that Degen voter bonus wallet is going to buy. So you go to that DEX, you see some of these, and we don't know what's going to happen. Some of them are going to be 5 million market cap. Some of them might be 10 million. Some of them might even be a couple 100,000 market cap. We don't know. But we believe the bigger and bigger we get, the more it's going to have an impact on that particular community. We think it's going to go in and buy that token. There's a really good chance that it could just explode, right? But the synergy that creates, if you think about it, there's so many voters that voted for that winning token. They know they're about to get airdropped. They're excited. But there's people that didn't vote for the winning token, and they're thinking, maybe I should add that to my portfolio because it's about to potentially get pumped like crazy, right? And so there's that synergy that it creates. And then we also came out with, and by the way, you can tell as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, we think it's going to go viral because of that, right? But we think it's going to save the Solana ecosystem, because the Solana ecosystem, as David just mentioned, is riddled with garbage. It's riddled with pump and dumps and pigflation. And I just made that up. I'm not saying that's a token. I don't even think that's a token. But the bottom line is there's so many things out there that people don't know about. And there's a lot of people getting into crypto too that don't even know what they're doing. I mean, their first experience might even be the Solana ecosystem. What if they could come into the Sosana community where there's strength in numbers, a safe haven, where every 2 weeks they might decide to add something to their portfolio, but for $50, you might get something. If you pick the right project, it's added to your portfolio for free.
Yep.
And just this first reward was about $350 to $400 in that token that was airdropped to those people. So if you can start to get a feel of the synergy of this, yes, each of them, exactly. Thank you for clarifying that, Dave. And so if you guys can get a feel for the synergy of that and how we think we'll go viral over time, then welcome to Sosana, because that's what we're all about.
Right.
And not to mention, let me take this off. The nominator is also going to be earning $500 for winning the nomination. Right. So there's an incentive. You're holding 500 Sosana tokens in order to nominate, because we don't want just everybody. We want to make it so that it makes a little bit of skin in the game to do that, and it kind of gets us on the riffraff. But they made 500 in Sosana, which we believe will continue to rise. I mean, we have a Telegram referral program that we have. The top refer gets a $300 amount in Sosana. He went about a week into it, showed that it was worth $1,800, and just the other day, I don't even know what it's worth now, but it was like $4,300. Kevin, I saw Kevin Blake, who is a great country singer, has got some great music. He's one of our members we've gotten to know. He just posted that he was one of the guys that received the Shift token, and it was worth it looked like it said 2 point something million, I think, of Shift. So we're just getting started. I mean, there's what we think is going to happen is a lot of these token projects are going to want to find their way to our community, because there'll be a captive audience for them to kind of educate our people during that 2-week period, to drip on them to do AMAs. And what we're building right now, if you go to sosana.community, it is our community hub that's being built. It'll have forums where people can meet up, connect locally with each other, find each other. There'll be special airdrop giveaways and promotions in there. There'll be directory pages for token companies as well as individuals that want to promote. There's so many things that I've been just having fun with coming up with for different premium features, and I've got unbelievable devs we have in there that are communicating with each other, working tirelessly around the clock. I've been working like them. I was up until saw Mark, I think I went to sleep at 4:30 in the morning, and I got up at 7. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm so excited about what's coming. I can't sleep. So if you go there, you can see the countdown timer to what's about to come, and when that unleashes, you're gonna see something amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm holding back some of the secret sauce right now. We've got a lot of people that are watching right. That the detractors, the people that want to copy and emulate, and listen, that's okay, because that's the biggest form of flattery, but I doubt anybody can be able to do what we do, because it's first off, it's extremely expensive. We've been fortunate enough to be able to build this thing, and but it is extremely complicated, all the moving pieces involved in doing this, and I've had a lot of years experience in developing software as a consultant for different projects and things, and so I know where to go, I know how to get it done, and I know how to do. I'm not trying to brag, I'm just trying to say that I'm so excited about what we've got. I think it's going to be a game changer for the industry, because there's a verification process that is going to help to legitimize these projects, and we're going to allow these crypto projects to do live AMAs to our community, and people are going to get educated more on these projects. There'll be ways to find out more about who's behind these things, and the cream, as Mark said, will rise to the top. Besides that, Mark had alluded to the fact that most people don't even understand crypto, and I liken it to if you walk down the street and you go up to the next 10 people and you ask them if they're what they do, the chances of having somebody say I'm into crypto, that's what I do, is probably statistically zero. I just it's just such a new industry. I've never met anybody in real life in my day-to-day life who does crypto for a living. It just so there's this huge gap out there of people that are very smart. Many of them way smarter than me. I've talked to them and they're like, "Oh, I'm intimidated by it. I don't get it. I don't." And I'm like, "Dude, you incredible stockbroker. You don't." And I've explained it to them as best I can, and now they're getting it. Some of the people I know, but they're still not crypto people. So one of the things that we think has been missing is the educational aspect. How do you get somebody into that comfort zone where they're no longer intimidated by it and they can actually enter into the market, become educated? And so we will step people through the first thing I left off is that in order to be in our community hub, you also have to have $50 worth of Sosana to access it. There is a free area in our hub, and that free area is going to educate the newbie on how to even get Sosana. How do you get tokens? How do you get a wallet? So there'll be basic education to get people kind of caught up to where they can start to, from crawl to walk, and then we'll get them through our educational platform that is being integrated right now. That's going to teach people about crypto, and there's a lot that's going on behind this. And like I said, the first drop in about, I think it's about 12 or 13 days we go live. That will have the basic education. Then we are bringing on course instructors, and we'll be rolling out from there. So I am kind of dripping a bit on to you guys, but it's going to be way more robust than that. There's just so many things and moving pieces in there that are exciting, and I think it's going to be really useful for everybody, out there to want to be a part of. So we try to take an agnostic approach. We don't allow people to vote on our token. We don't compete with anybody. We're just here to elevate, lift up the Solana network. And I will say this, and that is, once if it's a lofty goal and dream, but if we can fix the Solana network, and again, it's not Solana's fault. It's circumstances, right? Low gas fees. It's a great blockchain. Everybody gravitated to it, and it's so easy with pump fund to throw up these things overnight that it just is wrought with rug pulls and problematic things that take people's eyes off the ball for projects that really have great utility or value. If we can kind of cauterize the bleed out that is happening in the Solana network, there's no doubt in my mind, and every single person I've ever talked to about this who are crypto enthusiasts all agree that would fix the crypto industry. It would just, when you mentioned earlier on about the bull run, it's interesting because we should be in a bull run, but we're really kind of not, and we kind of are. You see Bitcoin rallying all the time and going up, and the altcoins just and you could say it's trade, it's economy, it's tariffs, it's you can try to say whatever it is. All you gotta do is go back to when it started happening, and it's obvious what it is and why it's still there. And we believe that once we solve this problem or just begin to solve it, and it's helping the crypto side, we're going to be able to expand what we're doing here as a microcosm into the entire crypto industry. So we have plans for expansion, and so this will grow outside of this, but it will always remain a Solana centric project. All the education through Sosana will be predicated on Solana education. So that's where we've made probably most of our money, where we've lost most of our money. Right. So that's where we, our heart is, and where we want to, kind of rest our hats for now, but we're going to be expanding. So I just I didn't want to get off track and talk about a future as much as I wanted to talk about the here and now. And when did you say is the next round voting, Mark?
Sunday after Easter.
You had mentioned after a week after.
Yeah, just literally a week after this Easter. Yep.
Okay, I'm trying.
Yeah,
I need to take a closer look at when our countdown ends in connection.
Yeah, you can see it right here on the screen. 10
So,
days, 4 hours, 23 minutes, and 5 seconds.
Yep. And
So,
if you see,
there
here's
you
the
go.
thing. I want people to see that. Since you've got that up, if you don't mind me saying, is that I want you guys to realize it's showing you obviously our price, how many holders we have, 178 holders. Oh my gosh. We're so
Wow.
infant. We're such an infant. We're such an infant. And so
that jumped a little bit.
Yeah, you also look at the voting reward pool, you know, and then, but just imagine the thing that you got to understand, because when it comes to a brand new project, there are ebbs and flows. We've had some great flows, some great pumps. If you look at our chart, it's pretty good. But there's also the ebbs, and there's the time in a brand new project. So when you get into something that's brand new and you look at it and you see there's 178 holders, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I don't trust it or whatever. But you got to really understand it, because remember, there's a beginning of everything. There's Bitcoin at the beginning. There's Ethereum at the beginning. There's Solana at the beginning. And you gotta decide if you see the vision of what a project is going to become. And that's what we believe. I mean, if you look at this utility and look at our voting reward mechanism, there's nothing like it on the planet. It is just a matter of time. And we've got so many things working in the background that are going to make this thing explode. I just can't wait. But I really believe that just because of what this is, I think we have the chance to be a multi-billion-dollar market cap. I really do.
I got to keep taking my headset off, so I have to time it out because of the echo in my ear.
So guys, not to cut you off, but real quick, fellas.
Dave can't hear you.
I think we're 2 weeks into it. I mean, we just got started. I think it's literally, it was technically March 27th, we went live. It was at night. I mean, it almost doesn't count. So let's just say the 28th, you know, you count the days up, you know, so there 18. I mean, it's a little over 2 weeks. It's nothing. We're brand spanking new. So this is why I can start to talk about certain things I've shared with you guys. That's the first time I've really delved into it like that, because we're so close to having that come, and you know, things are not coming to fruition. So we're stoked, man. What are we looking at?
I just wanted to bring up, you know, Dave
YouTube?
just said, I like this project, and please, where are your socials? Would want to follow to get more updates. So folks, everything that you need to connect with the Sosana team is right here in the description of the video. We've got their website. We've got their Twitter. I actually put the link. You can actually click this link right here where it says Buy Sosana. Going to take you right to the Radium page where you can buy your Sosana tokens. Here's the contract address for the token so you can make sure that you are getting the right token. And then here is, if you want to join their Telegram group, you can click this link right here. It'll take you into their Telegram group, and they have an awesome community there that will answer your questions and help walk you through any of the questions that you might have. You know, then we've been talking about their website a little bit, but if you go to Sosana.io and just scroll down through the home page, it really explains everything in really great detail. And then once you have your tokens, once you have your $50 or your $500 in tokens, you're just going to come over here and click on nominate or vote. And you're simply, you know, go to, you know, CoinMarketCap or, you know, CoinGecko or wherever you can go to get the token that you want to nominate. You can get their contract address, throw it here in this, you know, nominate token bar, and then hit nominate, and boom, that's how you nominate. And then on Sunday, in 10 days, when the voting goes live, very similar, there will be a list of projects here when that goes live, and you can just basically, on the right hand side of the screen, there's a button that says vote. You connect your wallet, you know, like I've got mine connected up here. You connect your Phantom wallet or whatever Sosana wallet you want to use, and then you just click on the token that you want to vote on, and it's very, very simple. And so one of the things that I love about what you guys have done here, in my opinion, is everything is absolutely first class. I have literally never seen a website that was more put together. I've seen some nice websites in crypto, but this is probably the nicest website I've ever seen. Something else that I really love about what you guys did, folks.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was very kind of you, Brad. That means a lot to me. I appreciate that, buddy.
Absolutely. And Mark mentioned earlier that this isn't, the turtle wins the race, that this isn't, get rich quick. Everything that they've done has been looked at from the long term. So another thing that I really was impressed with by you guys was the referral bot to get into the Telegram group. So you guys that have been around crypto for a while, you've probably seen these Telegram groups that pop up, and within a week or two, they've got 10, 20,000 or 10 or 20,000 members, and it looks like they're growing fast and it's exciting, but 9,900 of them are bots. And so one of the things I love about your referral bot is that it actually makes real users. And if you guys go join their Telegram group, you will see that there's not a bunch of riffraff. They're not having to ban somebody every 10 seconds because there are a bunch of idiots in there that are posting stuff that they shouldn't be. It's very professional. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm excited to be sharing this with my community. The other thing that I love about what you guys talked about was the utility of the project. I'm not going to name the project, but I had a guy come to me the other day and he wanted to pay me several $1,000s to promote his project. And this was the premise of their project. When you bought or sold or transferred, they took a 12% tax, and the holders of the token got 9% of that tax. And then a couple percent went somewhere else, and 1% went somewhere else. But that was it. There was no mechanism like you guys have where you're helping projects, where people are winning tokens. It was just basically a Ponzi scheme. So I told the guy, so basically what you're telling me is that I got to pay 12% on my way in. I got to pay 12% on my way out. And I got to hope enough people buy after I do to make up for that. And then eventually at some point in time, folks, this project is totally unsustainable. It will go to zero 1,000%. And I told the guy, I don't care how much money you pay me. I'm not taking that to my community. And, one of the things that I love about you guys is I know that you are very relational, relationship marketing, and very that much. If it's not a win-win-win, you guys don't want to be a part of it. And that's super important to us here at Infinite Crypto. Yep. We want to be a part of projects that are going to be around, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And what I see, folks, personally, is that this is shining light on incredible projects. And so those projects are going to get excited that the Sosana community voted for them and nominated them, which is going to make them want to share their community with the Sosana community. And so I see a huge amount of potential, viralness, if that's a word. This can go so viral because of everybody that wins wants to share it. Kevin Blake Weldon, who we talked about, he won $360 worth of shift tokens. He's excited. He's telling everybody he knows about Sosana. I'm excited. I'm telling everybody that I know about Sosana. And anyways, guys, I'll let you talk some more, but I just wanted to personally congratulate you on coming up with just a first-class project from A to Z from what I've seen so far.
And that's reflective of David Track. That's the David Track effect, because he's the one who did it. I just showed up and, I just do my job, right? But David is the brains, and he's the guy that really made it all work. And man, I agree with you. When he came up with this website, he and I were both looking at it going, wow, this thing is working. Like, this is nice. But you look at that Rick and Morty cartoon, that's David Track's signature, right? You look at almost all of the copy, that's the David Track signature. So you got to realize everything David Track gets into, he's very analytical. He's very detail oriented. He does something I can't do. I don't have the alligator patience to sit and do what he does. But he also knows that my job is to deliver the message, right? He's the steak, I'm the sizzle. That's kind of how it is.
That's right.
And so the reality is, but I want to touch on some of the things that you said though, which is really important. There's a lot of pretenders in crypto. They're fake. Everything about them. They have like bots showing up on their charts, just throwing in volume because it's a 0% tax. And, and you think, oh, wow, look at all these buyers and sellers. This is really hopping, but it's not hopping. It's fake. Everything. There's so many pretenders. And guess what happens? You find out that they're pretenders later after you already put your money into it. They fooled you.
Yep.
But what we're doing is we don't want to fool people. We want to show people we've got real utility. And by the way, we're not trying to pump to a $50 million market cap and then dump to $1 million market cap. That's not what we're doing. If you look at our chart, it's about relationships right now. We're planting seeds. This is our seed phase, right? Don't get me wrong. We're going to do some amazing marketing. And David is, again, behind the scenes, putting things like that in place. We're showing up. I've got another interview tomorrow. We're showing up here, Brad, with you to help get the word out. So little by little, what's going to happen is eventually we're going to hit critical mass. Eventually we're going to get to a place where it's like, we can't stop this thing, right? But we want to get there the right way. We don't want to get there by pretending and trying to say, oh, we're something that we're not. You know, we're not trying to fake it till we make it, right? We're trying to build a real product, real relationships, and a real community that's going to come in and, like I said, strengthen numbers. And we're going to bring those projects to the forefront. Matter of fact, tonight we're going to have a private call. You guys aren't aware of it, and you won't be aware of it until tomorrow when we air it. But tonight we're going to have at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to bring as many shift winners, right? I think there's be 6 or 7, maybe 8 people there. We're going to talk about Sosana, what it is, and we're going to bring out each one of those people on camera to share their testimony about what's happened to them just because of this utility when we're so early in the game. And let me ask you a question. When's the last time you saw a crypto project that did anything even near like that reached out to their community, brought their community to the forefront, and related to the people that are in the Solana ecosystem? You haven't seen it before. We're going to do that over and over and over, and we're going to build this thing one brick at a time. We're going to hit critical mass, and it's going to explode whether you believe it or not.
Let me ask you this, another question. When was the last time you saw a crypto project open its doors and already have product ready to go? Everything is always Q3, yep. Q4, next year. A lot of it is just from experiencing this industry and being sick of it, right? There's a lot of self-serving, effort here because I'm tired of getting Sosana, right? I'm right. It's to see a lot of my investment dwindle because it's out of control. There's just, it kind of happened. I tell you, when launched that token, Mark and I started to see, we had a Patriot token that just tanked, and we were in a panic mode. What is going on? And we realized that had launched this token, and then within 24 hours, 48 hours, a token launched, and that really, it just moved money out of all the Patriot type of tokens. And there just wasn't enough supply to go around. I mean, enough demand to go around, not enough money really to fill those voids. And that's why if we can bring a lot of the other whatever percentage of people out there that aren't into crypto yet, if they start coming in, that's a huge game changer for one. But for us, if we can just stop all this chaos and this nonsense and just all kind of get together. It sounds kind of kumbaya-ish here, but it is sort of a let's all kind of follow each other into stuff. Let's the best tokens are going to make it. Like Mark said earlier, if you want to win that $500 in Sosana, which will knock wood, it should be going up and up, so you get that money, it goes up. If you get that for nominating a winning token, you are going to absolutely want to nominate, unless you're the token owner of that project, but otherwise, or you just own so much of it. But most people are they're going to pick something. They're really going to pick something that, like, all right, this is going to win. This is a good one. And then you're going to have all the voters out there who are going to be like, which one is going to be the one that really is the best? And this is how we can weed it out. And we can have in the forums discussions during that period of time where people are kind of sharing ideas and things and kind of helping each other to figure things out. It's about stopping, taking a breather, looking at what leads, what are the top 10 tokens overall. If you want to ape into more than that, then by all means. But at 7 p.m. Monday evening, the voting ends and there's a reveal only to the holders of $50 or more. That's who sees that. So for 1 full hour, there's a period of time where you can buy up other tokens, you can ape into that token, and the reveal happens at 8 p.m. to the rest of the public who has not is not holding that $50 in tokens. And so, and also the airdrop does not happen until 8 p.m. either, because people can kind of figure out where that wallet is and see where the airdrops are going and figure it. So we just want to be very fair and allow the benefit of being a holder of a token. It's kind of an automated self-staking mechanism,
Right.
And so, this is I think is just going to be kind of that safe haven where everybody can kind of hang out and really connect. I mean, we're going to be adding all kinds of great features that makes it a true hub. So it's almost like a social network in a sense, which is, as I mentioned, I did run a social network I built, and that was quite big. It was the biggest in that industry, and so I've taken some pages out of the book from what I've done there, and I've applied certain things to this, which it's just. I've been around for a while. I'm not I got a few years on Mark, and he's just a dynamic guy. I'm telling you, he really knows how to take information, understand it in a way that he's able to. It's a gift to explain it so that it stays interesting. He doesn't lose people, and he really is a patient guy. Takes his time to make sure he's a great coach and educator, and he's really like an educator, a coach, and he's always wanted to be a baseball coach. I know his son is a star athlete in baseball, mostly because of Mark's skill set as a great father and a great coach to his son, and that kind of skill set is seldom seen. But also, I'm just kind of returning the favor that the steak, the sizzle to my steak, that was a new one. That was a good one. But the thing is that there's definitely different skill sets that the two of us have, and he just loves doing that. He's great at it. I don't mind it. I like to build. I get I get excited about coming up with ideas and creating them, and then seeing them through to fruition. Just see it come alive. And I haven't really gotten much feedback other than I see people coming in, but when someone like yourself, Brad, who's been around and gets it and said the kind of words that you did, those are great. It feels really good to hear that from someone like yourself, and others, because that's what I do it for, right? This is not just, even though I said self-serving, but the bottom line is, if we can really help people make a lot of money and do well, and bring ethics back to this space, help people from getting rug pulled, taken advantage of. It's the wild west out there, and this is sort of a self-regulating platform that we put together that sort of protects people in a decentralized world. That where this could go from here, who knows, right? It just could continue to it could be really quite. I mean, it's kind of daunting when you think about the potential that this project has. I mean, really, quite honestly, it's just, I've never seen anything like it myself. And like I said, I have been consulting in this space for a while now, and I've just never seen anything like it. So I'm pumped about it. I'm glad that you are, Mark obviously is, and our community. We're a bunch of holders. We're building it slowly. We're not looking to bring in and create, this kind of, FOMO where you see all these people and bots and stuff that aren't real. This is a real community that's there answering questions, like you said, that because they care and they all see the vision. And it's only a matter of time before all it's got to do is get in front of someone who understands crypto a little bit, or just explains it to them, and they get it. It's the easiest. Mark said it's the easiest sell he's ever done,
by far.
So I'm just I'll give it back over because I got to put my headset on to hear the rest.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Mark, I saw a couple of questions in the chat.
Yep.
One of them, Reggie asked, is the 3% tax designed to keep bots out of the charts?
That's definitely one of the wonderful benefits of having a tax. Absolutely. Because let's face it, and if you look at it, and I know many of you have seen on a chart where you'll see a $10,000 buy come in, and then 30 seconds later, $10,050 from the same wallet. They just leached $50 out of your liquidity pool. That's what these bots do. A 3% tax absolutely eliminates that. But of course, the other aspect of it is, of course, all the rewards. So we pull the tax that those bots take, and we put them into a reward pool where we can reward our community and stabilize the project.
Yeah,
but also it's the liquidity, right? There's that 1% that goes to the liquidity that helps stabilize,
right,
the project
right,
as well. And I think it's a smart thing to do that, to keep things strong, and also marketing, right? Instead of just pulling out big percentages of our token for marketing budgets, we can bring in that 1%. And look, if we're doing millions of dollars a day or a million, whatever, just big numbers in transactions every day, those are tremendous dollars coming in. If we've got extra money sitting there, we can always apply whatever we want towards more rewards for the members,
right,
more giveaways, more things. So it just it sweetens the pot for everybody. We've been very transparent on what we hold, as far as the company, as far as the vesting periods. We have a light paper that you can view at the bottom of our website. Somebody asked about socials. You can look at the bottom of our website. We have all our socials listed on there. And we just are hiring a social media marketing person. Our marketing is just getting started. That's one of the things I like to do as well. But I've been so in the throes of building and kind of the system architecture stuff that I've been dealing with a bunch of our developers that I haven't had a chance to come up for air to do that. But once we roll up our sleeves and really start to market, which is, like I said, that's I'm just a glorified sales marketing guy, that's what I love to do also. And there's a lot of stuff that we're going to start doing pretty soon. So it's just a matter of time. I think, like Mark has said, I mean, this is no guarantee of any success. We believe that this is a blip on the radar. The price we're seeing right now is a great price. If I had found out about this project, I know I'd be aping in if it wasn't mine, in a big way. And I have as well. I bought up my tokens, and none of us have sold tokens. None of us. We all believe in this project. There's no reason for us to dump. It's just way too low. I mean, we haven't gotten started. So and we have vesting periods, and so we're, like I said, we're very transparent on everything that we do, and this is something that we've thought about, that we've analyzed, and that we have had the pleasure and ability to have been involved deeply in this industry to understand the nuances and how you present something, how you do something, how you do it right, and you do unto others type thing. You're right. You don't want a fly by night thing. You want something to go become generational, rather than something that it's a fly by night. So I'll get off my soapbox, put my headset back there.
We've got a few more questions.
Yeah, we got a couple more questions here. Where'd it go? Dave wants to know, is the voting transparent for one to track the processes? And also, how about making the benchmark of investors and voters a bit less than 50 so that all can be accommodated by it a bit? So before Mark jumps in there, Dave, I would say that $50 is extremely, extremely fair. If you start going too much lower than that, in my opinion, it just makes it too easy. And once again, if it's too easy, then you start getting, kind of a type of person that you may or may not really want, trying to take advantage of the situation. The other thing that I'll say, Dave, is that I think this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. But I think that even if somebody jumped in and bought $10 or $20 worth of Sosana, very likely they're going to have over $50 worth in their wallet fairly quickly. Now, I'm not telling you guys that that's what you should do. Once again, your bankroll, your risk tolerance, and your reward tolerance is all going to be different. I would just go buy the $50 or more immediately if I had the ability to. But I am saying that for those of you that maybe $50 is out of reach right now, go buy $10 or $15 worth. And in my opinion, and you can come back and tell me I was wrong if I end up being wrong, but in my opinion, you'll end up with over $50 at some point in time and can vote. We've got a gentleman in the Telegram group, Mr. Tim G, that bought about $100 worth, and I think he's very close to having $500 worth. So not only is he going to be able to vote, but very soon, if the price goes up much more, he's going to be in a position to where he can nominate a token too. With that, I'll throw it back over to you, Mark, to answer that question in your own words.
Absolutely. So one of his questions was, do we track the process? Is it transparent? Well, even better than that, it's fully decentralized. Even me and Dave don't know the vote total until it's revealed. So we make sure that nobody knows. Just like if you were on election night, of course, I know that they're tallying the votes after everybody votes, right, in the national elections. But we don't want anybody to know what the vote is during that 24-hour period until suddenly it's revealed. That way, there's no fake stuff going on. There's no, oh, hey, we only need a couple more votes, and they try to cheat the system, or, we don't want anything like that going on. We want this to be a real, authentic result that forges those nominations through the election process and comes out with the best project. Right? We're not doing polls. This isn't politics, right? We're trying to really bring real good quality projects to the forefront. And like I said, it's so decentralized that even me and Dave have no idea who's going to win that vote or what the vote tallies are until it's revealed 24 hours later. And that's really important, for that. So hopefully that answers that. As far as the less than $50, I think you did an excellent job answering that, because again, we don't want people gaming the system. We want just enough to where it's not too much, but not too little to where people could be like, oh, hey, I'll just game the system. I'll get my community together and we'll all just pile in a bunch of votes. We want people to have that staking mechanism of $50. There's value there. We think that's enough value. I mean, think about it. You have an opportunity. We've kind of gamified, in a way, the concept of building your portfolio potentially for free, but it does start with $50,
Yep.
And so we think that's really fair.
I agree. Next question. Greg Nowak says, can you DCA to get to the $500 nominating target, or do you have to buy $500 all at once?
You can, just like you were mentioning earlier, Brad, you could buy $100 now and it might be worth $500 later. So no, it doesn't require a $500 purchase. It's just the value of your Sosana.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, that's all of the questions that I see. If you guys don't have anything else that you want to highlight, I'm ready to give away $100 worth of Sosana tokens.
Go for it.
Awesome, guys. So we're going to do, we're good. All right. So just a little bit of housekeeping, folks. In order to win the tokens, you are going to need to be present. So we appreciate all of you that have been here for the whole hour, and you got to be present in order to win the tokens. The way that you're going to prove that you're present is by making a comment in the YouTube chat if you get picked. And so what that's going to look like, folks, to avoid any funny business or anybody trying to do anything, to game the system, is once you have been picked as a winner and you make a comment, I'm going to come over here and click on your profile name, and I'm going to go to your channel. That will keep anybody from trying to clone your channel or impersonate you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into the About section of your page, and you are going to put your Solana wallet address that you would like the $25 worth of Sosana tokens sent to in your bio here. And I will get $25 sent to 4 different individuals. So we're going to give away $100 worth of Sosana, $25 to 4 people. I want you guys to have a little skin in the game. I thought about just giving $50 to 2 people, and then you guys would be able to vote. But I thought, no, that's not fair to everybody. You got to go buy $25 worth to go along with my $25 if you want to vote here in 10 days. But you're going to be halfway there with this. So there's going to be 4 winners. You're going to get around $25 worth of Sosana. And once again, we need a Solana wallet address. That's very important. Don't put a MetaMask. Don't give us an EVM wallet. Use Phantom or Soulflare, whatever wallet you like. I prefer Phantom, is my favorite Solana wallet. And then what I'm going to also do, folks, I know you guys hate me for this, but I know that there's a handful of people that like to type in hashtag Sosana on multiple YouTube accounts to try to game the system. So what we're going to do here, right here in real time, is we're going to change it up a little bit. Not only, if you're present, this shouldn't be a problem for you, but we're also going to change up what you got to type in order to win the Sosana, so that anybody that thought they might be getting over on us isn't. And we're just going to go with, let's just say we're just going to use the word vote, because those of you that win this are going to have $50 worth, hopefully, by the time it's time to vote. So right now, go type hashtag vote into the chat on the YouTube channel. We're going to let you guys vote for 30 seconds, for a minute or so. I apologize if you're driving down the road. You might have to pull over and hop off the road to get your vote in. But we want to make this as fair as possible. I know that there's a lot of people out there that get tired of people trying to cheat the system. And so go ahead and type the word vote in. I'm not sure why this is not. Let me get rid of this and pull this up. We should be getting some entries showing up here.
Yep, I'm seeing them.
What's that?
I can see them.
Oh, you can. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do it again. Then I goofed up. Something must have froze up on my screen.
You're talking about
what did you see, Mark?
Oh, no, I see it. I see what you're seeing, Mark, in the chat.
Okay.
But this entries number should be going up. I'm not quite sure why this isn't going up. Well, that's no fun. Make it a little bit tough on me to give away anything, since we haven't technically. Let me just start right over from scratch here. Sorry.
Do you have a VPN on there, Brad?
I do, but it's not turned on, and I've never had this happen to me before, where I've chose the live stream and then typed in what they need to put in. And not had it immediately. There we go. Okay, so there we go. You guys can see we got 65 entries there right now. It is 12:08 and 31 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing the names. Once again, folks, once you're picked, please get into the chat as quickly as possible and let us know that you are here. So our first winner of $25 worth of Sosana tokens is Vanish. I apologize.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
brother. This is a gentleman that's been a part of the channel for a long, long time, a big supporter of Infinite Crypto. So I'm glad to see you win. I always love it when some of my guys win. I'm hoping that some of the people that are, the Sosana fans that are in here supporting this stream do some winning today too. But it's always cool when I got one of my guys that I know has been a part of the channel for several years that pops in there and wins. Marvin, congratulations.
Marvin.
Attaboy.
Our third winner will be Nadeem Mubarak. Nadeem, congratulations.
All right.
And then we're going to draw this fourth winner, and then I will run back over to the YouTube channel and verify that they are in the comments. Jonna May, congratulations. So we got our 4 winners, as long as they're all here. So we're going to run back over here and get down into the chat. Hopefully that'll slow down on me here in a second. There we go. So we've got Vanesh here. We get that. So, yeah, Vanesh. Oh, come on, Brad. There we go. So go to channel. All right, Vanish, we've got your YouTube pulled up. Go ahead and put your Solana wallet in there. And we are looking for Marvin, Nadeem. There's Nadeem. Congratulations, Nadeem. And now we'll run back here. We're looking for Marvin. And there's Jonna May. And Marvin, where are you at, Marvin? I know you're probably in here somewhere. Does anybody see a comment from Marvin? There he is. Okay. Marvin, congratulations. All right, folks, I got all 4 of your YouTube channels pulled up. As soon as you put your, so this guy is on it. He doesn't have a Solana wallet in there yet, but you can tell that this isn't his first time trying to win a giveaway. So congratulations, Marvin. Get your Solana wallet address in there. And folks, we're going to wrap this up. Mark and David and I are probably going to talk for a few minutes, and then I got to get the Sosana tokens and get them sent over to you. So give me, 30 minutes or an hour or so to get everybody paid, but I promise you I'm good for it. And, with that, guys, let's pop back out here to the full screen so everybody can see us and give you guys an opportunity. I just want to say thank you again for being here, spending this time with us. As you talked about earlier, David, you got 2 hours of sleep last night, yet you're here excited. And I know that you still got hours and hours and hours of work that you're still going to be doing after we get off of here. So thank you guys for being here. And, once again, folks, it's important to build this community. So if you're part of my community, please go join their Telegram group, become a part of this amazing community. And, once again, the links to their website, to their Telegram group, to the Radium website where you can buy the tokens, it's all right there in the top of the description. So go make sure that you join these guys and, let's help them move this mission forward and really help this project go out there and win.
Let's do it. Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
man,
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, fellas. Have a great day. Be blessed. And we will see you again very soon. I'm sure you guys will be on the channel in the not too distant future again.
Yep. Looking good.
Looking very good.
Bye-bye.